नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, with all of your blessings, we will today discuss Canto 9, Chapter 20, entitled The Dynasty of Puru. Text number 34, 35 and 36. Okay. Tasyasan Nrupavaidarbhya. Okay, so I will just read the 34th and 35th. This is 30. Patnyastisrasu sammata jagnustyaga-bhayat putran nanurupa itirite. Translation: O King Parikshit, Maharaj Bharat had 3 pleasing wives who were daughters of King of Vidarbha. When all 3 of them bore children who did not resemble the king, these wives thought that he would consider them unfaithful queens and reject them, and therefore they killed their own sons. It's very interesting. So the wives are thinking that, because they are not resembling the king, he might doubt their character, and therefore the wives, they just killed their own sons. तस्यैवं वितथे वंशे तदर्थं यजतः सुतं मरुत्स्तोमेन मरुतो भरद्वाजमुपाददुः. The king, his attempt for progeny frustrated in this way, performed a sacrifice named Marutstoma to get a son. The demigods known as Maruts, being fully satisfied with him, then presented him a son named Bharadwaja. And now we come to the text 36, which is written on the board. Antarvatnyam bhratrupatnyam maithunaya bruhaspatihi pravritto varito garbham shaptva viryamupasrujat. Antahvatnyam pregnant, bhratrupatnyam with the brother's wife, maithunaya desiring sexual enjoyment, Bruhaspati, the demigod named Bruhaspati, Pravruttaha, so inclined, Varitaha, when forbidden to do so, Garbham, the son within the abdomen, Shaptva, by cursing, Viryam, semen, Upasrujat, discharge. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. When the demigod named Brihaspati was attracted by his brother's wife Mamata, who at that time was pregnant, he desired to have sexual relations with her. The son within her womb forbid this, but Brihaspati cursed him and forcibly discharged semen into the womb of Mamata. Purport. The sex impulse is so strong in this material world that even Brihaspati, who is supposed to be the priest of the demigods and a very learned scholar, wanted to have a sexual relationship with his brother's pregnant wife. This can happen even in the society of higher demigods, so what to speak of human society? The sex impulse is so strong that it can agitate even a learned personality like Brihaspati. So we will try to discuss something about today's subject, where Prabhupada mainly speaks of that the great impulse or a very strong impulse of this sensual desires, which makes a person blind. He doesn't know what he is doing. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says to Raghunath Das Goswami in his instruction, Tathapi Vishayara Swabhav Kare Maha Andha Sei Krutya Karai Yeche Hai Bhava Bandha. He says that Vishayara Swabhav, the nature of sense gratification is such that Kare Maha Andha. We heard Andha, Andha means blind. Maha Andha means totally blind. Kare Maha Andha. Maha Andha means he cannot discern what is right, what is wrong. Maha Andha means completely loses his discrimination. And Sei Krutya Karai, which somebody cannot even dream of, or expect from such a personality, but that personality will end up doing it. Why? Because that is the nature of sense gratification. If one is not careful or not alert, then such thing can happen to even a demigod or even some very scholarly person. Tathapi Vishayara Swabhav Kare Maha Andha Sei Karma Karai Yeche Hai Bhava Bandha. And what will be the result of doing that heinous activity? That his bondage in this material world will go on increasing further. That means his stay in the prison house will prolong. Something like if somebody has performed some crime and is put into jail, and in the jail also he continues performing crime. What will be the result? That his stay will extend in the jail. That the jailer will not leave him. So similarly, we see many examples in the scriptures. Like one example is there in Ramayana, where Indra, he becomes attracted to, he wants to disturb Gautam Muni, Gautam Muni's tapasya. So he goes to his hermitage and he sees the wife of Gautam Muni, who is Ahalya. And Ahalya Devi, he becomes attracted to her, and he understands that Ahalya is a very chaste woman, so she will not allow him to advance. So therefore he takes a form which is similar to Gautam Rishi and goes in a disguise of Gautam Muni, and he tries to make union with her. At that time, Ahalya Devi just understands that this is not my husband. But the verse says in Ramayana, Deva Raja Kutuhalat. It means she becomes little curious how what will be the experience of uniting with king of demigods, Deva Raja Kutuhalat. And therefore she falls victim to such, we can say, sinful activity. But after this sinful activity, Ahalya Devi immediately comes to her senses and she says that my husband will come, now you have to rush, you have to leave this place immediately. But the nature of sense gratification is that not only it makes one blind, but it makes one reckless. So Indra thinks that, oh, what will this Gautam Muni do to me? So he just smiles. Actually he should be crying that after performing such heinous act, he should be regretting and crying, but he's laughing. And he's saying that don't worry, I will handle the things. And sure enough, Gautam Rishi comes and he sees Indra in the same his guise, same form. So he understands what has happened, and he immediately curses Indra for not out of anger but to protect religious principles, that he loses his testicles, Indra, immediately. And he curses Ahalya Devi to become a stone. And very interesting that Ahalya Devi gratefully accepts that curse as a blessing. She doesn't retaliate. But Indra, on the other hand, he goes to demigods and he says that, oh, I went on your behalf and see what has happened to me. And therefore you should restore me, like that. You should restore my organs, like that. And the demigods, they do the needful. So the point is, Vishaya Swabhav kare maha andha. One doesn't know what one is doing. And therefore we see in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, very vividly this principle is demonstrated when Bhagwan Acharya, he is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate, he invites Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for lunch, prasad. And when Mahaprabhu and Bhagwan Acharya tells Chota Haridas Thakur, Chota Haridas, to get rice from Madhavi Devi, who is a very chaste, very elderly Vaishnavi. And Haridas, Chota Haridas goes to her, begs alms, rice, and he comes back, and it seems that he has some talk with her, like that. Nothing very serious. But then when Mahaprabhu eats the prasadam, he asked Bhagwan Acharya that, who brought the rice? So Bhagwan Acharya says, oh, this is Chota Haridas, he just begged it from Madhavi Devi. So Mahaprabhu says, alright. And then he goes home and he tells Govinda that tomorrow onwards, Chota Haridas should not be seen here. Dwara mana kaila. He says that this door is closed for Chota Haridas. And Chota Haridas, he doesn't even understand why this has happened. He's saying why this is suddenly it has happened. So 3 days he is fasting, he is not eating anything because he is not allowed to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Swarup Damodar Goswami and other devotees, they start worrying. What has happened? What aparadh he has done, Chota Haridas. So they all of them approach Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they ask him, why you have not allowed Chota Haridas to approach you? What offense has he done? So Mahaprabhu says that Prabhu kahe vairagi kare stri sambhashan, prakriti sambhashan, dekhite na paro ami tahara vadan. He says that if a renunciant is talking frivolously with women, prakriti sambhashan, dekhite na paro ami tahara vadan, I cannot see his face. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that advancement in Krishna consciousness means he should be disgusted with material life and he should be attached to Krishna's service. Otherwise, if he is proclaiming to be advanced and not detached, then he is cheating people and he is cheating himself. And then Mahaprabhu says, Durvara indriya kare vishaya grahan, daravi prakriti hare munera piman. He says that the senses are so uncontrolled, Durvara indriya. Vara means to control, Durvara means difficult to control. Durvara indriya kare. So it's like they are always after sense objects. Durvara indriya kare vishaya grahan, daravi prakriti hare munerapi man. So even the wooden form of a woman can attract the Muni's mind or the sage's mind. Therefore he has to be very careful. Prabhupada writes in the purport, even a person claiming control over his senses actually always remains subjected to the control of sense objects. Somebody may say, oh, I have gained control over senses, but nobody can be overconfident. So, etakahi Mahaprabhu abhyantare gela, Gosayara avesha dekhi sabe maun haila. So, by saying this, Mahaprabhu just went inside his house and his avesh, seeing his fierce form, all devotees became very frightened. They became silent. देखी त्रास उपजिल सब भक्त गणे स्वप्ने छाड़िल सबे स्त्री संभाषणे. And seeing this, that Mahaprabhu is so strict, all the devotees, they became very disturbed. And even in dreams, they stopped talking to women. Like that. And why this has happened? So Prabhupada mentions to the purport of this, Mahaprabhu Krupa Sindhu ke bujite pare. Who can understand Mahaprabhu is so magnanimous? Priya bhakte danda kare na dharma bujayite. Mahaprabhu Krupa Sindhu ke pare bujite. Who can understand Mahaprabhu? Priya bhakte danda kare dharma bujayite. So just to let people know what are the correct etiquettes, Mahaprabhu is bringing forth, this pastime. Where actually speaking, Prabhupada writes in the purport that Chota Haridas did not commit any serious offense, first of all. But just to let people know what are the repercussions or aftermath of engaging in such activities, Prabhupada writes in the purport, Mahaprabhu is the most magnanimous incarnation, but he doesn't tolerate illicit connections. He strictly prohibits or forbids illicit connections. So this particular point at Durvara Indriya Kare Vishaya Grahan, and therefore he also quotes Matra Swastra Duhitrava Navi Vikta Sono Bhavet Balavan Indriya Gramo Vidvansam Api Karshati. One should not even sit with one's mother or sister or daughter in a secluded place on the same seat, because the senses are so strong. So even though one might be very intelligent and scholarly and very, very learned, but still the forces of senses are so strong that even his mind can be bewildered. So this fact is very clear in 5th canto, when Rishabdev gives up all his material life and he takes to renounced order. And Parikshit Maharaj asks, why did he? So he was actually, because of that, he was also capable of achieving mystic powers. But Parikshit Maharaj asks, then why did he not accept mystic powers? So Shukadeva Goswami answers that no matter how much advanced one is, one should never trust one's mind. Especially the transcendentalist or the spiritualist or a devotee who is trying to control his mind, and to a certain extent he has achieved the control over his mind. He should be always very careful with the mind, just like a cunning hunter. Just like a hunter, if with his powerful intelligence he controls a lion and puts him inside a cage. So lion is already fierce, he becomes more fierce by putting inside the cage, and let's say he is little reluctant or negligent, and somehow he lets the door open of the cage. Then what will happen? The first person that lion will devour is the hunter himself. So every practitioner has to be very, very careful, like a cunning hunter. And it says that na kuryat karechit sakhyam manasi hi anavasthite yad vishrambhat chirat chiranam chaskanda tapa ishwaram. Chirat chiranam, that means if one is doing austerity for prolonged years, still his mind can become bewildered. And chaskanda tapa ishwaram, even those who are controllers of mind, their minds are bewildered. And example is given, Aishwaram here means of Lord Shiva, or Saubhari Muni is also another example. Vishwamitra Muni is also another example. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, if we stick to the principle of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, offenselessly, then by grace of Srila Haridas Thakur, we may be saved from allurement of women. But on the other hand, if we are not strict in chanting Hare Krishna, we may at any time fall victim to women. So this is what Prabhupada writes. Of course, this applies to both Matajis and Prabhujis. We may fall victim to illicit relationships or victim to sinful activities. Because first, one has to understand that as soon as one gets material body, then this lust, anger, greed software is already installed. It comes with the package of this material body. Therefore, Kapila Dev, he also mentions in 3rd canto, Tat srushta srushteshu Konu Akhandadhi Puman Rishim Narayana Mrute Yoshin Mayyeha Maya. In this entire creation, who is there who can control his senses and remain completely undisturbed apart from Naranarayan Rishi? Tat Srushta Srushteshu. Srushta is Brahmaji, and then if Brahmaji is subjected or vulnerable to lust, then what to speak of those who are created? Srushta Srushta Srushteshu. Those who are created by Brahmaji and those who are created by Brahmaji. So like that. So this is mentioned that just to make this point more emphatic, the pastime of Lord Shiva being bewildered by Mohini Murti happened. And at the end of pastime, when Lord Shiva is Jai Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Krishna Balram Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki, when this pastime happens, when Lord Vishnu takes the form of Mohini Murti to bewilder Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva is thinking that if demigods can not be bewildered by seeing Mohini Murti, how can I be bewildered? So therefore he says, I desire to see your form. Please give me this benediction. And Lord Vishnu just laughs, because he thinks that I will teach the whole world now through Lord Shiva how the senses are so strong and no one should trust their senses. Of course, Lord Shiva is never under the sway of material energy, but just to show an example to entire world. So at the end of the pastime, Lord Shiva is saying to Parvati, Ai vyapashyasi tvam ajasya mayam parasya punsa paradevataya. O Parvati, did you just witness the powerful illusory energy of Lord Vishnu? Parasya punsa paradevataya, which is beyond this world. Aham kalanam rishabhopi muye. I am supposed to be the chief among Krishna's incarnations. He is Gunavatar. And aham kalanam rishabhopi muye. And I got bewildered. Then what to speak of others? Yaya vashonne kimuta aswatantra. Then what to speak of those who are already in control of Maya? Although I am supposed to be the chief among incarnations of Lord Krishna, I am bewildered by Krishna's illusory energy. Then what to speak of jivas? We know that jivas have 50 qualities in minute quantity of Krishna. Lord Shiva has 55 qualities. Sada Swarupa Sampraptaha. He never forgets his eternal position. We forget our eternal position, but we can forget our eternal position, but Lord Shiva doesn't forget. Sada Swarupa Samprapta Sarvajna Nitya Nutana. Sarvajna means he knows everything. Nitya Nutana means his body is always fresh, being spiritual. And Satchidananda Sandranga, his body is full of eternity, bliss and knowledge, just like Krishna's body is eternity, bliss and knowledge. Lord Shiva being incarnation of Krishna in his Shiva Tattva, also Shiva Tattva is also Satchidananda Sandranga. So, and Sarva Siddhi Nishevita, he is served by all mystic perfection. Such Lord Shiva, he is saying that I am bewildered, then anyone who is below Lord Shiva is definitely subjected to bewilderment. So, therefore, one has to be very careful, and therefore otherwise such incident can happen, and therefore Vedic scriptures give us a proper understanding, proper protocol, proper decorum, proper etiquette to follow. It is mentioned that I will just speak of one pastime where Narad Muni, when Pandavas married Draupadi, Narad Muni comes to instruct them, saying that how everything should be used in Krishna's service and how one should not claim proprietorship over anything, even over one's wife. And he then narrates one pastime that happened. There were two demons. If my memory is correct, then they are Sunda and Upasunda, and they become very intoxicated by benedictions of demigods, and they do a lot of tapasya and they ask for benedictions that let two of us be invincible in such a way that only no outside one should be able to kill us. So, because they were close friends to each other, they thought that they will never fight with each other. So they asked this kind of benediction that no outside person should be able to kill them. So I think this is Brahmaji, he says, Tathastu. And then, because they are creating problems all over the world, so therefore one Apsara is created, her name is Tilottama, and she comes in front of Sunda and Upasunda. And both of them are attracted. I think Sunda is elder and Upasunda is younger. And both of them are attracted to Tilottama, and both say, I want her, she belongs to me. So Sunda says, I want her, I will marry her, and you should consider her as your mother. Because I am like your elder brother, so I am like your father, so you should consider her as your mother. And the Upasunda says, no, she belongs to me, I am going to marry her, you consider her your daughter-in-law. So that even demons know what is the correct etiquette. Even the elder brother is to be considered like one's father, and his wife, she is to be considered like one's mother, and younger brother is to be considered like one's son, and his wife should be considered as daughter-in-law or daughter. So even demons knew that etiquette. Then one may wonder how Brihaspati, who is learned scholar and priest of demigods, how could he fall? So therefore Durvara Indriya Kare Vishya Grahan, Matra Swasra Dohitrava, that verse is there. And therefore we have very ideal examples in scriptures how should be one's behavior. So the ideal example is of course that of Lakshmanaji. This is in Kishkinda Kand, where Mother Sita is abducted by Ravana, and while by air, and while she is crossing the Kishkinda forest, Mother Sita drops her ornaments so that Lord Ram and Lakshman will get clue where she is being taken. So when Lord Ram and Lakshman, in search of Sita, they come to Kishkinda and they meet Hanumanji, and Hanumanji introduces them to Sugriv, and they ask whether you have seen such demon kidnapping a Devi. So this Sugriva says, no, but I have seen, we have collected ornaments, of one lady who just dropped those ornaments. And after seeing those ornaments, Lord Ram immediately exclaimed, oh, these are Sita's ornaments. These earrings, these armlets, these anklets, these are all belong to Sita. Lakshman, can't you recognize these are ornaments of Sita? So Lakshmanji says, Naham janami keyure, Naham janami kundale, Nupareva bhijanami, Nityam padha bhivandanat. He said, no, I can't recognize the armlets. I cannot recognize the earrings. Naham janami keyure, Naham janami kundale. I just recognize the ankle bells. Why? Nityam pada bhivandanat. Because the only thing I did was always offer obeisances to her lotus feet, and I didn't see beyond that anything. So that's the standard of Lakshmanji, who is setting the correct example. And even in Ayodhya Kand, when Lord Ram is about to go go to the forest, and Mother Sita is accompanying him, and Lakshmanji also wants to go with them, and they are coming to take blessings from Kaushalya and Sumitra, and Sumitra Devi is giving advice to Lakshmanji. She first smells the head of Lakshman, and she gives blessings to Lakshman. She says, Srushtasthvam vanavasaya swanurakta surujjane Rame pramadam ma karshi Putra bhratari gacchati. So she says that you You are created to follow Lord Ram, she says. And therefore you follow him and don't my son, please do not perform any mistake in your service to Lord Ram. And then he says, Vesani va samruddho va gatiresha tavanagha esha loke satam dharma yad jeshto pashago bhavet. He says that whether Lord Ram is in difficulty or whether Lord Ram is very prosperous, never leave him. He is only your destination. And by your example, you should follow this dharma that that the Kanishta should follow Jeshta. And then she speaks of very beautiful verse. She says that Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam Ayodhya Matavim Vidhi Gacchatat Yatha Sukham. She says that now that you are going with Lord Ram, Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi. In Lord Ram you see Dasharath Maharaj, your father. Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam. In Sita Devi you see me, that means Sumitra Devi. And Ayodhya Matavim Vidhi. When you are wandering in the forest, consider it to be Ayodhya only. And Gacchata Ata Yatha Sukham. And now you can live happily. So this is a very great example that how a younger brother treats elder brother and his wife, like that. There is also one very beautiful verse in Vrajariti Chintamani, which says that this is chapter 3, verse number 10. So the point is, in spiritual world, everyone acts appropriately, and because of that there is increase of rasa, or everyone acts in very appropriate manner, and therefore it is mentioned that Srimati Radharani, her beloved is Krishna, and therefore Balramji is her Jetha or Jeshtha, and therefore it is mentioned that when Srimati Radharani is near Govardhan hill, if she sees a crystal Govardhan Shila, then she thinks that, oh, Balramji might have passed on this way. So she changes her course to avoid any awkward situation. And when Balramji sees any golden Shila, he thinks that, oh, Radharani might have passed through this way. So he changes his course. So that's, so all of them act so appropriately to nourish their service to Krishna, that there is no inappropriateness. Therefore, Srinath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that in spiritual life we should understand that anauchitya dhrutenanyat rasabhangasya karanam. He says that there is no other cause of rasabhanga. The proper rasa becomes destroyed by inappropriate behavior. Anauchitya dhrutenanyat rasabhangasya karanam. And therefore, in spiritual world, we see that in the behavior of gopis, there is no rasabhas dosh. There is no rasabhas dosh, there is no rasabhanga dosh. So everything is just appropriate. So one may then question, oh, what about Krishna? Like he is dancing with the wives of others. How is it setting the right example? So Parikshit Maharaj asked this question, how come about Krishna sporting with gopis? And then Shukadeva Goswami gives a very beautiful answer to this. First of all, we understand that these gopis, they are Swarup Shaktis of Krishna. And just so that the pastimes become more flavorful, Yogamaya arranges to have their so-called husbands. And it will be clear when we discuss this little elaborately. And so that the husbands and the in-laws, they act as obstacles. Just like if river flow is obstructed and after that obstruction is removed, then she flows even faster. Or let's say some bowstring. If one is about to shoot an arrow, so Krishna is like the target, gopis are like the arrow, and the in-laws are like the bowstring. The bowstring, the more it is pulled behind, more putting obstruction to their meeting with Krishna. And when it is released, the arrow flies very swiftly towards the target to serve Krishna. And the gopis move very fast to serve Krishna, or that intensity of their desire to serve Krishna increases. So this, so actually in one sense, all the in-laws, husbands and mothers-in-laws and sisters-in-law, they act in their own role to increase the sweetness and the beauty of Radharani and Krishna's the pure loving union. So Shukadeva Goswami starts with saying that Naitat samachare jato manasapi hyanishvaraha vinashyati acharan maudhyad yatha arudro abdijam visham. Foolish people should not, out of their foolishness, should not follow what the great personalities do. Tejiyasam hina doshaya. What they do is not out of false ego or not out of false pride. It is all beyond three modes of material nature. And therefore, if one tries to imitate it, then he will become perished. Just like somebody who is not Shiva, but he drinks poison, trying to imitate Lord Shiva, he won't become glorious. If the poison affects, then he will just be dead. And if poison doesn't affect, then he will be caught by police for committing suicide attempt, like, you know. So therefore, then Shukadeva Goswami says, this Krishna, who is Krishna? Gopinam tat patinam cha sarvesham eva dehinam yo antasharati sodyaksha kridanena iha deha bhak. He says that who is Krishna? Krishna is already there inside the heart of gopis and inside the heart of their patis also. So he's already embracing them from within. So what's wrong in embracing them from outside, like, you know? And one should not think why gopis are meeting Krishna in secret place. Already Krishna is residing, the most secret place in our body is our heart. Therefore we say, Sada Hrudaya Kandare Vasutuva Shachinandana. Let Shachinandan stay in the core of our heart, because that is the most secret place. And so Krishna is residing there. So already he is meeting gopis in secret place, that is their heart. Then what's wrong in meeting externally in a secret place? So actually speaking, all that he does is all these pastimes are just the display of his mercy. Even his dancing with gopis is also display of his mercy upon fallen conditioned souls. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamastita bhajate tadrushi krida ya shrutva tatparo bhavet. So Krishna performs all these beautiful pastimes just to charm the hearts of devotees and those who are conditioned souls, so that they will get to know what is the real substance, and they will get attached to the real happiness and stop searching happiness in this material world, which is like a mirage, just a semblance of happiness. And then in the purport, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada quote Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He comments that from this we can understand what is the purity of gopis' love for Krishna. Maya kalpita tadruk stri shilane na anusuyubhi na jatu vraja devinam patibhi sah sangama. He says that what to speak of gopis, even their shadow is not touched by their so-called husbands. When the gopis go to meet Krishna, just so that their so-called husbands are pacified, their shadow forms stay at home. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that even their shadow forms are not touched by their husbands. What to speak of actual gopis? That is the purity of gopis' service to Krishna. Sahaja gopira prema nahe prakruta kama kama krida samye tara kahe kama nama. It just looks like activity of a young man and young woman, but actually it's the highest expression of trying to please each other. Shuddha prema vrajadevira kama gandhahina Krishna sukha tatparya ei tara chinnam. So all they desire is to just please Krishna and nothing else, and they have no desire, kama gandhahina. There is not even a scent of self-satisfaction. कामगंधहीन स्वाभाविक गोपी प्रेम उज्ज्वल निर्मल शुद्ध येचे दग्ध हेम. So therefore the comparison is given. It's like 100 times if one melts the gold and then it becomes so beautiful. There is no very effulgent. There is no impurity in it. So Gopi's love for Krishna is like that. It is mentioned. And so much so that that even Atma Ramas get attracted to these pastimes. And two examples that came to my mind is, one is Shukadeva Goswami, that he explains that Parinishthitopi Nairgunne. What is next? Gruhita Cheta Rajarse Akhanam Yad Adhitavan Parinishthitopi Nairgunne Uttama Shloka Leelaya Gruhita Cheta Rajarshe Akhanam Yad Adhitavan Gauranga. So by Uttama Shloka Leelaya, by pastimes of Lord Krishna, which are so sweet, my mind is attracted, and therefore, although I was attracted to self-realization, still I got attracted to Krishna's pastimes. So maybe oh yeah, because of the garland, yeah. Okay. Okay, for yeah, thank you. So still it is coming because of the so Brahmananda Bharati, so he says that that although Advaita Vithi Patikai Rupasya, I was worshipped by those who are Advaita Vithi. That means those who are attracted to self-realization. And Swananda Simhasana Labdha Diksha. And I was sitting on the throne of king, like a king. Shatena kenapi vayam hatena dasi kruta gopa vadhu vitena. It says that, actually, I don't know. Actually, they should be attracted to honey, but they are getting attracted to garbage. So, okay. So here it says that Krishna's pastimes are so beautiful that although I was a king, I was made into maid servant. Brahmanand Bharati says this verse. This actually, he quotes from Bilva Mangal Thakur, and he quotes this verse that although I was attracted to the path of impersonalism and I was sitting on the throne of impersonalism, but this Shata or cheater, Krishna, he just dragged me from that Simhasan and just made me into his maid servant. Like that. And therefore these pastimes are very purifying, but of course one should read them according to one's adhikar. Like if reading too esoteric pastimes may cause, if one's adhikar is not there, then it will cause disturbance to the mind. So therefore Jiva Goswami in his Sandarbha, he says that Raho Leela Paurasha Vikarat Na Upasya. He says that the esoteric pastimes, the very easy check and balance process, or what is it called? We can ourselves check it for ourselves. Raho Leela Paurusha Vikarat Na Upasya. Paurusha Vikar means the enjoyer consciousness. Actually every soul is supposed to be the enjoyed or Prakriti, or supposed to be serving or assisting Srimati Radharani in her service to Krishna. But after attaining material body and coming to material world, one develops a Paurusha Vikar. Whether one is in the body of male or a female, he has this Paurusha Vikar. Paurusha Vikar means enjoyer's consciousness. So by reading Krishna's pastimes, if one gets this Paurusha Vikar, that means one feels like one is the enjoyer, rather than thinking that I am the enjoyed. Then na upasya, then he should wait for more purification. Should not indulge in such pastimes. Yet he is not yet ready. So one can do more Harinam Sankirtan, more Japa, more prayers, read more Siddhanta, and read other Leelas which are not Rahasya Leelas, and do some humble menial service, so one gets, one's heart is purified, just like Mahaprabhu is doing this Gundicha Marjanam Seva, Sri Gundicha Mandira Marjana Bhakta Vrindai Sammarjanan Kshalanata Sagaura Swachittavat Ujwalam Shitalam Cha Krishnopaveshaikaikam Chakara. So he cleaned this temple, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with all his associates, and he made it so pure. Swachittavat Ujwalam Shitalam Cha. So it was shining, pure and very cool. Why? Krishnopa Yikam Chakara. Krishnopa Veshaupayikam Chakara. So that Krishna can enter that house of one's heart. So we'll just, in last 5 minutes, we'll see what solutions our acharyas are giving to deal with this impulse of sex desire. First is avoid the triggers, that those things which cause agitation. Pururava says, adrushtad ashrutad bhavat na bhava upajayate. Our mind is never disturbed by things which we haven't experienced or seen or heard. We are always disturbed by that we have already seen, heard or experienced. So if we don't see or hear bad things, then our mind will slowly come under control. Then Prabhupada was once asked what to do when one mind is disturbed with sensual desires. Prabhupada said, chant loudly. He said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Prabhupada says, when my mind is disturbed, I also chant loudly. And another thing is, once Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he shared this pastime. Prabhupada was walking out of the temple towards his car, and all the devotees were offering obeisances. So Prabhupada looked at Tamal Krishna Maharaj and he said, do you know why they are offering obeisances to me? Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he just kept quiet. Prabhupada said, because I have no lust, therefore they are offering obeisances to me. Then Prabhupada entered his car, Tamal Krishna Maharaj drove him to destination, and then he opened the door for Prabhupada, and while coming out, Prabhupada said, it is not that I don't have lust, I don't have time. He says, so also another solution is keep ourselves so busy in different services that we don't have time for Maya. Also another is mentioned by Raghunath Das Goswami in Manashiksha. He says, cry out to the devotees. He says, Prahlada, Narada, Parashara, Pundarika, Vyasa, Ambarisha, Shuka, Shaunaka, Bhishma, Dalbhya, Rukmangada, Uddhava, Vibhishana, Falgunadin, Punya, Nimam, Parama Bhagavatam Namami. So cry out loudly these names of Parama Bhagavatas, and by their name all these lusty desires will run away. And there are many solutions. One suggested by Haridas Thakur to the prostitute. The prostitute says, Veshahaya mui paap karya cho apar, krupa kari kara mo adhamay nistar. Then Haridas Thakur says, okay, give all your wealth to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, and chant holy name always, and serve Tulsi Maharani. So praying to Tulsi Maharani is also suggested by Acharyas. Bhaktya vihina aparad lakshay kshipta cha kamadi taranga madhye krupamayi tvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanarvindam. We can pray to Tulsi Maharani for. Also pray to Vaishnavas. Chaya vega domi, chaya dosha shodhi, chaya guna deho dase, chaya satsanga dehoe amaye bosechi sangyera ashe. So I am just staying near you so that you chaya vega domi. 6 types of impulses will go away. Then one can pray to one's guru, because it says that sarvametad gurau bhaktya purushohi anjasa jayat. By serving Guru, all the different troubles, Kam, Krodh, all will go. Anjasa, very easily. Kama Krodhati dasahaya tara lathi khaye, Bhramite Bhramite yadi sadhu vaidya paye, Tara mantra upadeshe pishachi palaye. By his advice, the pishachi of Maya will run away. And another solution is regularly hear Krishna Katha and Gaur Katha. What is that? Gaurangyara Dutipada Jara Dhana Sampada Sejane Bhakati Rasa Sar Gaurangyara Madhura Lila Jara Karne Praveshila Rudaya Nirmala Bhelo Tar. So by hearing Gaur Katha, by hearing Krishna Katha, Shrunvata Swakatha, what is that? Shrunvata Swakatha Punya Shravana Kirtan, yeah, that is there. There is another verse like that. It says, Salilasya Yatha Sharat. Shrunvata Bhava Saroruham Shavalam Krishna Salilasya Yatha Sharat. No, one verse before that. Sorry. No, that is next. That is next one. Tavatadma Krishna Padam Mulam na Munchati. A verse before that. Okay, anyway, the time is over. It says that by endeavor one should hear Krishna Katha. Grunatascha swacheshtitam. Shrunvata shraddhaya nityam. Shrunvata shraddhaya nityam. Grunatascha swacheshtitam. Kalena naati dirghena bhagwan vishate rudhi. Yeah, this is the one I was looking for. So there are so many verses which say that how we should always hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna Katha, Gaur Katha, that Krishna himself inside our heart will purify our heart. Sorry, I just exhausted all the time. So thank you so much for patiently hearing. Please, yeah? Which one? Oh, Sunda Upasunda story. Okay, yeah, then they fought over Tilottama and then they killed each other. Okay, and another story. I thought the story of that prostitute, her story is very hope-giving because it says that Prasiddha Vaishnavi Haila Parama Mahanti Bada Bada Vaishnavtara Darshanete Yanti. So she became such exalted devotee by serving Tulsi and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that she became so famous that big Vaishnavas went to see her. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.